The American college football player and coach Paul Bryant said, "When you make a mistake, there are only three things you should ever do about it: admit it, learn from it, and don't repeat it." While many Nigerians believe that the All Progressives Congress (APC) federal government has committed some blunders in its handling of the affairs of the country since it took over from the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP) in 2015. The party thinks otherwise, but the recent outburst by some of the founding members of the party, including the immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and a former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, appears to leave no one in doubt that indeed APC is in crisis, despite its repeated denial that all is well. El-Rufai, at a recent event, took a swipe at APC, accusing it of abandoning its founding principles and nurturing poor leadership. Speaking at a national conference in Abuja on strengthening democracy in Nigeria, El-Rufai bemoaned the lack of internal democracy and active party structures within the APC. Said he, "I no longer recognize the APC. No party organ has met in 2 years, no caucus, no NEC, nothing. You don't even know if it's a one-man show, it's a zero-man show. You cannot afford to have illiterate, semi-literate, and cunning people as your leaders. This is why we end up with the poor leadership we have today," he added. This is even as he said that the problems that led to the creation of the APC remain unresolved, but I no longer believe the APC is interested in addressing them. The distance between me and the party is widening. There are internal machineries in the PDP, hired and motivated to destroy the party. The Labour Party is also facing similar issues. P2B himself told me, "I don't know what's happening in the party I contested with. There seems to be a deliberate project to destroy opposition parties," he claims. While citing a poll that revealed that 75% of registered voters might abstain from the 2027 election, the former Kaduna State governor said, "This is dangerous for those of us who lived half our lives under military rule. We know what it is. We don't want a military rule, but we also don't want civilians behaving like the military in the Barbariga and streets. This is a national emergency, and we must act before history repeats itself," El-Rufai declared. Saturday's song gathered that apart from Malam El-Rufai and Amechi, there are hundreds of other chieftains of the party who share similar sentiments and thoughts, as several of them who served in the immediate past administration have resolved to wage a political war with the APC by teaming up with other aggrieved members of the PDP, including other opposition parties, to repeal the 215 feet where an incumbent, former President Goodluck Jonathan, was defeated after 16 years of the PDP's reign. Many have noted that how the APC-led federal government managed the affairs of the country and internal crisis within its fold between now and next year will go a long way to determine the party's fortune in 2027 presidential contest. And unless the party is put to its house in order, they warn the fate that will befall it would certainly be worse than what the PDP suffered in 2015. Speaking on the possibility of dislodging the APC, a former PDP chieftain and 2019 presidential candidate on the platform of Rebuild Nigeria Party, Dr. John Kennedy Osoala, said that the real factor in what he described as the impending massive defeat of the Tinubu-led administration in 2027 is the party itself. He said that the APC actions and inactions, such as the pervasive poverty in the land, the aggressive diversity in the land, and the massive mortality and insecurity in the land, will surely defeat the APC. According to him, if the PDP under Jonathan could be dislodged from office, what stopped the APC under Tinubu from suffering the same fate? Nothing. After all, no matter what you may think or say, Nigeria was better under Jonathan than under Tinubu. Do not mind the pure tactics of the so-called droves of defectors. These defectors have no electoral value. Immediately they don't get what they want, they will defect again. They think APC is like the former PDP, where you can come immediately and they give you one thing or the other. The APC political machine is currently and deliberately cabalistic. If you are not an original apostle, evangelist, or deacon, you will get the Ogbonnaya Onu treatment, QED, he declared. He further argued that there was nothing that was happening within the opposition today that had never happened in the past, adding that people like us are not bothered about the so-called opposition parties being in disarray. They will come together at the right time to give President Bola Tinubu a political battle no one has ever seen in the annals of Nigeria politics. Those who will dislodge APC and send them packing will arise from the ashes of the present opposition parties that are apparently in pseudo disarray. Lending his voice at the move by the opposition to dislodge APC-led government is the immediate past caretaker committee chairman of the Labour Party (LP) in Kaduna State and a critical stakeholder in the obedience movement, Elder Yusuf Solomon Dambaki. He believes that the opposition will ride on the anti-Tinubu sentiment in the north to galvanize support against the APC. Now we have a weak government that is bringing hardship to Nigerians as a result of bad economic and political policies. This hardship is increasing, and with the kind of appointment Tinubu is making, I don't see it reversing anytime soon. Imagine petrol from less than 12 naira to over 1,000 naira. Labour Party is going to bounce back. Obedient movement is going to bounce back, and we are going to take over power come 2027, whether they like it or not. Reminded that it might be difficult to dislodge an incumbent president, the LP chieftain said that was what he thought during Jonathan. It is just a matter of coming together. It may not be the Labour Party alone. It is going to be a strong measure with other political parties. It is not going to be easy with the incumbent, but the house of the incumbent is already divided because many of them have realized Tinubu was not what they thought he was, especially he is in the north. The north has seen that Tinubu is a political scam. He did whatever he could. He used the Muslim ticket. He shared money, and now he's not the president they expect him to be. So the APC members in the category are looking for alternatives. I can tell you that half of those in APC in 2023 are no longer with him. Negotiations are ongoing. All the leaders of other parties and their candidates are talking. I don't want to mention names now, but 5 top political parties have given their consent to this move, he declared. Although President Tinubu is yet to say whether or not he will seek a second term, his teeming supporters across Nigeria will not doubt want him to run. He too will certainly be interested in consolidating his hold on power at the center. Their only dilemma, Saturday's song gathered, is how to galvanize support to push through the second term ambition, especially in the north. For instance, the president's special advisor on political matters, Malam Yadaruzu, is seen as someone with no political base. Similarly, Alhaji Ibrahim Kabir Masari, the president's senior special assistant on political and other matters too, is believed to command no convening political authority to dictate the directions of things politically in the north. But as a chieftain of the party who does not want the name in print, dismayed the fact that the opposition was capable of dislodging the APC in 2027. I agree with you, we have issues in the north, but we, the vice president, I think we can surmount whatever challenges we may be having in the north. I pray Baba Tinubu is able to discard the gossip from those trying to create a wedge. What if you should get out from that place? What do you mean of this rubbish now? Eh? Akurik, if you touch that gay again, I'll slap you. I think we can surmount whatever challenges we may be having in the north. I pray Baba Tinubu is able to discard this gossip from those trying to create a wedge between him and the vice president. Baba can also allow the vice president to take full control of the north. Most of the issues will be resolved. Recall that the vice president played a major role in bringing El-Rufai on board the Tinubu train before the 2023 election. I believe he can still do the same today. However, the vice president is being careful because of the later day. The people converse who were nowhere when the vice president single-handedly took on the northern establishment. At a time, no one was willing to identify with the Tinubu for president project. Today, they are the ones feeding the president with all sorts. These are people without political base who cannot even win an election within their families yet. They run down people anyhow. For me, I believe Baba needs to reach out to El-Rufai, either personally or through proxies. El-Rufai did a yeoman's job for Baba in that 23 election. I believe we still need El-Rufai. With Wike on our side, we don't really need an Animechi. We are good in the southeast, especially if P2B is not running. And even if he decides to run, we can still match him in that region. But we need El-Rufai. We need the north, and the time to act is now. APC party chief On the government economic policies, the APC chief further said, I think you guys are underrating Baba. In his first term in Lagos, this was how things were. But by the time things began to take shape, we can all see the benefits today. I believe things will get better. Don't let us go into statistics or specifics. Baba has the capacity to fire and hire. You saw what just happened with the universities. Who will ever think that Baba will fire University of Abuja as we see? I believe that before May this year or by May when we would have reached our midterm, some changes will happen. I am confident that APC's reign will not end after just 12 years, he added. Asked to share more insights into how the ruling party intends to fight the planned onslaught by the opposition parties toward the 2027 election, he noted, you are pushing me to say things I would have loved to withhold, so it's not misunderstood. Yes, it is true that some persons are positioning themselves to replace the vice president. Thankfully, we have a vice president that is not desperate for power. In fact, I heard that he once told you he was planning to bring Kwakwanso on board. Then that if they thought the former Kano state governor would add value to the ticket, he, Shetima, was ready to. But at the strength of Nigerian political history, it will be suicidal for Oba to contemplate that. Rather than contemplate that, we are contracting energies on how to reconcile all the major stakeholders. I say so because unless we achieve that, we may have a challenging outing. Contacted on the issue, AP's National Secretary simply said no comments, please.